Hello, this is another 1.3, specifically deductive reasoning as we use it in proofs. We're going to start, it's about the time of the year that people are thinking, I wish I were in algebra. So we're going to start with an algebra problem. Algebra, every single time you did a problem, you use deductive reasoning, you use law of syllogism. Started with a problem, ended typically with x equals a number. So that's the type we're going to have. Deductive reasoning and a proof, and we'll start with an algebraic. If we had this problem, if we were given 6x minus 45 equals 4x plus 5, and it says solve for x, that's your algebra problem. This is the problem you are given. Okay, do you remember what you did first? A lot of people start with the numbers. I start with the variables. I subtracted 4x. And got 2x minus 45 equals 5. That property used was subtraction. Then, it's a two-step problem. Next step, add 45, add 45. 2x equals 50. We used addition. Now it's a one-step problem. Divide by 2, x equals 25. That's our law syllogism. First line, last line, all the stuff in between, and what we did there was division. So you've been doing proofs all year in algebra, you just didn't have it labeled as such. So now let's look at a geometric one. Given, first step, measure of angle 1 equals measure of angle 2, and measure of angle 1 equals 105 degrees. And your last step, so your law of syllogism, the first and the last, we're going to show what's in the middle. We want to end it with that measure of angle 3 equals 75 degrees. But that doesn't say much by itself, so what helps, and they almost always do, is a visual of the situation. Here's angle 1, here's angle 2, and here's angle 3. So, typical two-column proof, we always start with statements and reasons. And you always start with what you were given. Measure of angle 1 equals measure of angle 2, and measure of angle 1 equals 105 degrees. Given. We're given that problem. Through law of syllogism, through several steps, we want to end up, the last line, be measure of angle 3 equals 75. So we look at this picture and etc. We have 1 and 2. We know a lot about them, but we want to get to angle 3. Well, angle 3 is located right next to angle 2. And if you remember from the last little bit, that means they're sitting on a line. They are a linear pair. So angle 2 and angle 3 are a linear pair. And they just are, that's what the definition of a linear pair is. Two angles sitting next to each other on a line. Now, what do we know about a line? It's measure. If you put a protractor there, in fact, I have a protractor right here. If we have a protractor on any line, we get a whole 180 degrees, and that is called supplementary. So, angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary because linear pairs, all lines, always add up to 180. And supplementary, we just said that means that the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 equals 180. Definition of the word supplementary. I like to use abbreviations. Okay, so angle 1 equals angle 2. which means we can replace angle 2 with angle 1. And we also know that angle 1 equals 105. So I can replace measure of angle 2 with 105 plus measure of angle 3 equals 180. Replace, like when you replace Miss Lathrop the other day, you had a substitute. Okay, then this is this algebra. How do we get rid of 105? We subtract it, don't we? So measure of angle 3 equals 75. Subtraction. So measure of angle 3 was where we wanted to end. Notice this word is not prove. This word will never be prove. This is what you did. All these reasons are proving. Another property, subtraction, addition, division, definitions, linear pairs are supplementary, definitions, and substitution. Another property that is commonly used is called the transitive property. Or you can just use the words law of syllogism, because that's what it basically is. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. First equals last. That's what you need for the beginning of proofs. Again, call me, email me, any questions, glad to help.